Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Chris Holt, and today I'm glad to be back and started off with a banger video for you guys. Today I'm gonna go ahead and buy a new car. Now this car is something special. Sure, it's something similar to maybe what I have right now, but it will be a really cool addition to the fleet. And if that's something that you guys are interested in, please make sure to give a thumbs up to this video, get it out to more people, and hit subscribe. I know the last little while I've been down bad on my videos, not posting much, but I'm coming back with you guys. I'm gonna try and do at least one video a week for you guys and really start building up the channel. My goal is to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Now I think that's very doable. There's been months that I've grown a couple hundred subscribers each month, or about 100 or so. And so all we got is the end of this month, which is about a full month, and then next month. So let's see if we can hit, I think it's about 150 or so subscribers that I need left to hit 500 by the end of the year. Can we do it? If you guys like these videos, please make sure to share it with your friends, because like I said, I'm coming back with more content for you guys on the Camaro, on the WRX, on community news, this, that, and whatever. If that's something that interests you, let me know in the comments down below what you want to see with my cars, or anything that you'd like me to report on. And let me know, because I'd love to get out more videos for you guys, and that's my plan coming up here in the near future. So I haven't been uploading for a while. That's because I moved, had trips that I was on, I even had a death in the family. Crazy couple of months, but now I'm back at it. I want to see you guys commenting down below. Let me know what you guys want to see next. But just like that, guys, let's get right into the meat and bones of the video about me going to pick up a 2011 Chevy Camaro SS with the LS3 in the manual transmission. So I'll let you know the story on that, and we'll get right into that now. So what I was doing, how I found this car, ran into the deal that it is I was on my phone scouring Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist, Auto Tempest, Cars.com, AutoTrade, like so many different websites, and I'm always doing this looking for a good deal. Anything that comes up, you know, I'm willing to jump on, especially a car that I know so well. And so when this specific car came up, and it came up on Facebook Marketplace, it came up as an $8,000 2011 Chevy Camaro SS, 2SS, a non-RS car, but with the LS3 and the manual transmission. For me, it was listed at 8, and I was really intrigued. So I went ahead, did a little bit of research into it. There were a couple things wrong to it, but no big red flags. And from there, I decided to go out and message the guy, see if it's still for sale. It happened to even be in my backyard too, which is really interesting because my 2010 Camaro, the black and green one that I have, also I found that in my backyard. So I was really super excited to hear that there's another Camaro, a great deal, and one in my opinion a better spec than the one that I have, an orange on black. It was pretty cool, and hopefully I'm showing pictures and pulling this stuff up for you guys right here. But that's how I found the car. So the car had 160,728 miles in the listing, and all it says is the Camaro is lowered, has a tune on it, a Diablo Sport, so that's a little handheld tuner, cold air intake, a stage 3 racing clutch, which was really interesting because there's not a ton of engine modifications done to this car. Just tires on the back. It said it needed front brakes, one rim is bent, and he said it drives fine, just shakes a little when you hit 60 miles an hour. He says no other issues, need gone, first come, first serve. And he said that he had a loan on it with $8,500 left to pay. If I was interested, reach out to him. So that's what I did. We reached out, and a couple more issues started arising. And now I'm down here in Oregon, at Oregon State University, and this car was listed actually back home for me up in Seattle. So I did a little bit of back and forth, but the whole time I was reaching out to him, he was a little bit taking a while to get back to me. Now I wasn't sure what that was. I was a very serious buyer, and I made that pretty obvious with cash in hand, letting him know that consistently. And throughout the process, it took sometimes hours, sometimes days, just to get a hold of him. And now for me, that was not quite a red flag because I really wanted this deal to happen, but I wasn't sure what was the reason he wasn't getting back to me. Now, originally, when I hit him up, he said the car also would not start. There was an electrical issue with it. So I actually went down and saw the car about a month ago to see if I could see what was up with the car. He said the car wouldn't turn over, wouldn't start cranking or anything like that. So we set up a time to meet, and we went and looked at the car. Now I went, but the other guy did not show up. I didn't hear from him. We'd been talking a couple times that day and said that we'd meet there at 7:30 p.m. Unfortunately, he didn't meet up with us, and I was only able to get a walk around with the car. Now the biggest concern or interesting thing to me is it was at a body shop. Now it looked all good and all of that, and actually the owner of the body shop was able to come out and talk to us about the car, which was super awesome. But he did confirm that the car did not start, and they were pushing it forward, back, up, down, and all around the shop in the grounds. So that was a bit of a red flag for me as well. So I reached back out to the guy and said, hey, you didn't show up, what's the deal? And so he didn't show up that time, and a few days later he got back to me, and we kind of went on the same deal again. I said, I don't know if I am really interested in this car because there's so many different problems, and if I was, I'd have to get it inspected. Was he okay with that? And he was. So that was a good thing on my end. And sadly, throughout this time, the whole time, it was hard to reach out to him and get a response here soon. Like back and forth, I couldn't get a response too well. So what we ended up doing is he gave me his actual phone number because we were just messaging throughout Facebook. I got his phone number, and from there was able to get in contact with him. Not much better than Facebook, to be honest with you, but went back and forth saying if you can figure out these issues, find out what they are, so I can be a little bit more educated with the car. At this point, we went ahead and shot some offers around, and I basically gave him a lowball offer because we didn't know the issues with the car. Heck, I didn't even know if it ran. So from that point, he said, let me see if I can get it running, figure it out, this, that, whatever. So a few days, almost a week or so go by. This whole process took about 2 months. And about a week or two goes by, and I get a text back from him saying, hey, I got the car running. It was a key that was misprogrammed or something like that, which was really interesting to me because up until this point I hadn't gotten in the car, I hadn't seen it try and start, I hadn't even met the seller in person. So none of this, I didn't know much about the car, couldn't put a code reader on it or anything like that. So then finally he got it running and started, and so I said I would like to go see the car, I'd like to take it and go get it inspected. So after about a week of spotty communication, we were able to set a date at a Chevy dealership to go and get the car inspected. I get here at the time, and he shows up about an hour and a half late, but about half an hour after we were planning on meeting, he texts me, says, hey, I'm gonna be about another hour. And for me, him and I don't live that close to each other. I live about an hour away from him, and from down here in Oregon, where I'm currently going to school, it was about 3 hours. Now I made this trip back home to specifically go look at this car and potentially, you know, buy it, because we talked a little bit about price back and forth, and it was something that I was really interested to see now what was wrong with it. So he finally shows up. I see the car running and driving for the first time, and I meet the guy for the first time. Seems like a pretty good dude. And we go in, it's a Chevy dealership, and get this whole thing figured out and get the car inspected. The inspection takes quite a while, you know, an hour or two. And at this time we're just kind of talking. The guy seems like a good dude. And the reason he's selling the car is because he's moving across the country. Now he doesn't want to have to trailer the car across, but he does have a loan on it for that $8,500. So then what we end up doing is once we get the whole detailed printout it's basically the things that I figured that was wrong. A bent wheel, the CV axle in the back was busted. There was a big laundry list. Like, it's got high miles, so they wanted to do a transmission flush, an engine flush, all of this and all of that. But overall, the bones were good. Throw on some new wheels and tires. I'm not saying refresh the motor, but go through it. Same with the transmission and stuff like that. The interior was pretty beat up, which was not ideal, but something I could figure out. You know, I know my ins and outs of the 5th gen Camaro, so I was super excited, super happy about this, and I felt comfortable going together with a deal on this guy. So we ended up agreeing on a price, and I was super stoked about it, and I had the cash, so I had to go to my bank to wire it to his bank because he has an online bank. Now, the online bank has the title of his car because it's a loaned vehicle, and so he owes money on it still. Now, he's moving from one address to a completely new address on the East Coast. So for me, it was tough because I was trying to figure out a way that he could send the title over to me if I was to pay it off for him. Now, he of course did owe more money than I was going to pay on the vehicle, so that wasn't a huge issue. And he said he'd figure that out. He'd figure out a way to get me that money. So that was something I was super excited and confident about, that I was able to get the car. And so we called his bank, and unfortunately they were closed that day. So we planned on meeting the next day. After already agreeing upon price and all of this, reached out to him throughout the night with no response. Then the very next day, he reaches out to me again. Now, I'm a student here at school. I looked at the car, I believe it was a Saturday, and we were going to buy the car, or it was during the week because I knew banks were closed. So I was looking at the car, I believe Monday, and I was planning to buy the car Tuesday. It came Wednesday when I had not heard from him, so I was planning on going back early that morning. But before I was leaving, he shot me a text and said, "Hey, let's do the deal today. I've got it all figured out. I can get off work by about 11. I'm like, alright, sweet. Because we had to do the deal before 3 because that's when his bank closed due to different time zones. We get this done, and I reach out to him around 10 or 9:30 or 10 because for me it's about an hour to go look at the car and even go to where we'll trade hands with it. I didn't hear from him. Until that evening, I didn't hear from him all day. And then the next day, I didn't hear from him. The next morning I didn't. So I decided to come back and just say, unfortunately, there's no deal that happens. So unfortunately, guys, I was not able to secure the USA's cheapest running and driving manual 5th gen Camaro SS. But that was my goal, and I really wish I could have made that happen. But who knows where that car is? Could be on the East Coast now, and yeah, hopefully it gets back on the road and gets fixed up to what it should be. And kind of unfortunate that I wasn't the one to be able to do that. I'd love to be able to do that for you guys for content. So if you guys find any cars like that or anything that you want to see on my channel, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'd love to buy a car with a little bit of work that needs to be done, especially one that I know and love like the Camaro. And yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking around. I know this is kind of a long, boring video maybe. I'll get back to a lot more of the car modifications and really upbeat and nice stories and cool things like that here in the near future. But for now, I wanted to bring you this story. It just went down, so I'm kind of a little bit sad that I didn't get the car, especially after agreeing upon a price. It would have been the cheapest running and driving clean title Chevy Camaro SS, much less one with a manual transmission. So I really wish, and maybe one day here soon, I'll be able to make something like that happen again. But I just wanted to bring that to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see here next. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. But just like that, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.